Morning, Saturday, October 25th, 2025. I'm Larissa. Time's come. Ah, time has come. Once again, that's my tea basket. Drink from skulls, huh? Oh, new batch of tea made yesterday. Yeah, so this one, it is chrysanthemum, chamomile, because you need to start the day relaxed. What else is in this one? Birch bark, sassafras, rose hips, and cannabis. That's what's in this one. It's very mild. And the chamomile and the chrysanthemum are the dominant flavors. And there's a little bit of a tang because of the rose hips, and the birch bark and sassafras add kind of like a mellow, woody roundness. Yeah, and it's the color of root beer. Yeah. Yeah. So yesterday, I will start with today. So today is my horrible, horrible event for women without children. For child-free women. My child-free women event is today. I half expect or half wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of women show up with babies shaking my face. Because I've dealt with this with the baby shaking before. Oh gosh. In Oakland. So when they started the big push in the Bible study groups, in the church social groups, that I was attending over anti-choice, right? There were, when it started getting really, really just in your face kind of thing. It was around the time when I left, and women, and I was being followed. This is when I was being followed around by the Jehovah's Witnesses, and they were screaming at me and all this shit. There were numerous occasions, when I say numerous, I mean 3, where I was out in public in places where I would go regularly, not random places, but my schedule was, once a week I'd go get flowers at a florist and go have coffee and visit a bookstore. There was a bookstore. Every other week I'd go get my nails done. Every other week I'd get a massage. Every other week or once a week I'd go grocery shopping kind of thing. So I had kind of a bit of a regular schedule. And I tried mixing it up, going different places, particularly with grocery shopping. So it wouldn't always be exactly the same or whatever, but it was fairly regular. You get in the schedule with these things. Anyway, there were a few occasions where I was out in public, and all of a sudden I'd be standing in this public place, right? And I'd be surrounded by people with women with strollers with babies, and they'd be I'd have to I'd be circled, It was this kind of thing. And it was a harassment. It was an organized harassment. The anti-choice people are insane. These are the kind of people that blow up doctors' offices and things, right? Once you get in their radar, they come after you. So, I wouldn't be surprised if something like that were to happen. If women with babies, the other thing would happen, they would do it at the nail salon too. I'd be having my nails done or whatever, and you sit there at the kind of like the window. There's usually, there's usually small places, and the place that I was going, and they push their stroller back, or they'd carry the baby and like shake it in front of the window at me. Weird. It's weird. It's this weird behavior. It sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, anti-choice people are crazy. They do crazy shit. They don't give a shit about the kids that are in the streets, but they're the parent, the same people, these same people who got kids running the streets, doing little girls giving blowjobs underneath the overpass. These are the same people that do this shit, right? They don't give a shit about that kind of stuff, but you and the fetus that's in you, or the fetus that's in you is much more important. You know why? It might be the baby Jesus. What if you killed the baby Jesus? That is the ridiculousness of these people. That is the ridiculousness of these people. They have so little faith in the greatness of God that they think that a human being could somehow thwart God's will. God is all great. God's gonna beat you no matter what, right? Oh my God. Anyway, so yeah, so today is my event, my mixer event. I put out some snacks. I got some soft drinks, maybe a bottle of wine. Ooh, maybe a bottle of wine. You know, and it's $20. $20, get you in the door. Helps me keep my lights on and cover the snacks, right? And have a private event, have a private space for child-free women. Yeah, a private space, a safe space, a private safe space where it's okay to be child-free and have a womb, right? Or at least been born with a womb. Mm, yeah. Women who have had hysterectomies are welcome as well. Oh my God. So yesterday, did some work. I got stuff inventoried and tagged and everything, and because I had a bunch of stuff that I've made. I had like, what was that? 6 t-shirts and 2 new dresses and a new jacket and a whole bunch of jewelry pieces that needed to be tagged and inventoried. So I did that. Yeah, I did. And I got photos uploaded onto the website of new stuff. Not all the new stuff. I haven't photographed all the garments, so that's something I might work on today. Yeah. I got one of the molds made that I wanted to make. So I think I'm gonna make another one. I do. I think I'm gonna make another one. Might make a couple more. Yeah. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I've been up to. Yeah. And I have another model garment that I'm working on right now. It's gonna be super cute. Yeah, another model garment. Yeah. Mm. I'll have to go grocery shopping here in the near future. There is a third of a loaf of bread, homemade bread, a little bit of cheese, some tomatoes, and a piece of quiche and spinach in the refrigerator, and a brick of tofu. And then I have an onion and some ginger and some garlic. And so I have one more meal to make, which will be garlic spinach with air fried tofu and rice. It will be good. I'll put sesame seed in it or something too, so boost the protein even more. For dinner. Yeah, and I have some miso soup in the cupboard, so we'll have that with some miso soup, and that'll be good. And then I'll have to go grocery shopping. And then Omar's got a piece of quiche in there to have today while I'm at work. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I got a new nightgown. Oh, it's silk nightshirt. Oh, it's real nice. Although it fits really good, except across the boobs, so I have to keep it unbuttoned. So otherwise, it's tight across the boobs. But everywhere else, it fits great. Like if I got the next size up, it would be too big. Right? Can't help it. Can't help it. I got monster titties. I can't help it. Oh my gosh, nice and silky. And Brody's got a clean bum. Hey, you, Mister Senor Pedro. Senor, are you dead? He's in here. He's in here, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be seen. He's laying on the floor. Omar washed his bum yesterday. Got all the poopies out of his bum. He got to come up on the bed, and he was all excited about that. No more poopies in his bum. No more stinky poopy bum. He's gonna get his footy foot looked at here in the near future. Oh my goodness, him and his footy foot. Oh, my sweet boy. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, it's so weird. Like the disdain that women have for women without children. Why? What is your problem? Are you so insecure in yourself and your own motherhood that, like, what is your problem? I don't understand. I don't. And all this bizarre shit in this country right now. Trying to avoid news, but it's like next to impossible, particularly since we have this election coming up here in a couple weeks. And yeah, I just I don't know. I just got mm. Our government is so corrupt. And government has been corrupt for a long time, but it's just like childish. It's so childish, right? So like I guess now even for Republicans, like if Trump doesn't like you, doesn't like if you haven't been loyal enough to him, you're not invited to the lunches. What? Oh my God. Why is a president having party specific luncheons anyway? Explain that to me. Why is a sitting president hosting lunches that are just for one party anyway? When you're elected president, you're supposed to be representative of the entire peoples. Donald Trump is an awful president. He's an awful, awful president. And, you know, What is the difference between this ballroom and Obama's basketball court? Oh, and I'll get to basketball in a minute. This is what the difference is. Did the basketball court cause a destruction of existing architecture? It's not a separate building, right? I just, what is the need? And why aren't people allowed to take pictures of it or record? What's going on? Just don't understand. No, I do understand. The man thinks he's above everybody else, and he thinks he's going to stay on. Ugh. Mm. It's very disturbing. It's all very disturbing. Basketball. So I haven't been, haven't been watching, haven't really been following. Um, I mean, I used to watch basketball every day. I used to watch all the teams and everything. I was really, really into it. Really, really into it. And then shit started getting weird, and then all this legislation was passed for the gambling, and the gambling was brought into the house, into people's living rooms and stuff. And now there's a scandal, and guys are being arrested. And um, regardless of who's arrested, I hold Adam Silver personally responsible. You know, he made the deals with the casinos in Vegas and all that shit. You know, it's what he wanted, and what do you expect? What did he expect was going to happen? What did he expect was going to happen? Hmm? Oh, it all just disgusts me now. The whole thing. Ugh, gross. Gross, Mr. Chauncey Billups. Yuck. Yuck, dude. That's shitty. Jeez, I wish I was talking to my mom and ask her, what do you think about your friend Chauncey? Because she used to think Chauncey was so great. She did. She knew him. She was principal at the school where his kid went. And she went on and on about, oh, what a nice man he is, and he really cares about his daughter. Blah, 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 blah. He's always so nice to me. Yeah, I wonder what my mom thinks of. What do you think about Chauncey now, Mom, huh? Shirking people out of millions of dollars? Wow. Wow. Look at that. Hmm. But, there again, it's like, the guys in that league, they make so much fucking money. I mean, all of them, even the ones that are at the bottom of the pay grade, make so much fucking money, right? For doing what? For playing a game. For playing a game. There should be no surprise about any of this shit. Uh-uh. Goes with the culture, huh? Totally. Oh, I watched a clip of Shaq saying, you know, oh, I'm really disappointed, blah, blah, blah. You guys, like, you and Chuck, all, talk about your betting and all that shit. Betting on sports, betting on beings, human or animal, is morally and ethically corrupt. Morally and ethically bankrupt. It is a horrible, shitty thing to do. Yeah, it is. I think it shows weak character. People who bet on sports, betting on sports, I think is an indicator of weak character. Particularly when you get into the business of betting on players specifically. Ew. On individuals, not just on teams. Not just like who's going to win, who's going to lose, but betting on the achievement of players, individuals. Disgusting. It's slavery. It's slavery. Yeah, and it comes back to like, what happened to Kelly Oubre, right? I think he was hit by that car. I think it was a hit. I don't think that was any accident. He's too close to Atlantic City. Fucking A. Way too close to Atlantic City. Yeah. And they had good prospects at that time until he got hit. Right? So, no. Nope. And they've changed things, I guess, this season, like viewing. Like, it used to be, unless you buy an NBA league pass, like, you don't get to see all the tip-offs and everything. Yeah. So they're like trying to nickel and dime people. Jeez, no thank you. I can do without. And I think a lot of people can, you know, especially now since like when you watch games, there's all these commercials for gambling and how to bet and stuff. It's like you can't watch that shit with kids. I mean, oh my God. It's just disgusting. Disgusting. Repugnant. Repugnant. Like morally and ethically, I cannot participate in watching sports in that way anymore. It's like I can't even enjoy watching, right? Like it's just gross, right? Ew, it's just dirty. The whole thing's dirty. Mm, yeah. Anyway, anyway, that's how I feel about that. That's how I feel about that. You know, my eyes look dark. When I wake up in the morning, they're really dark green, and then they get lighter throughout the day. Oh, last night, watching a little bit of Bela Lugosi, Return of the Vampire. Oh, I couldn't watch the whole thing. I was hurting real bad. I needed to lay down flat, and so I needed to go to bed. But we were watching this. Oh my God, Bela Lugosi. Look at me. Look at me. And they get up in his eyes. It's like, oh, look at me. Look at me. I am your master. You will do as I say. Bela Lugosi, his dog boy. Brody. Brody, were you dog face boy? No. Are you dog face boy? Are you? Brody, you dog face boy? He's thumping his tail. He's like, yep. I'm your dog face boy, mommy. Oh, Bela Lugosi. How funny. It just highlights, though, at that time. So when those films were being made, it was a demonization. I mean, sure, the vampire is a folkloric creature, but the reason it was like popular when it was the idea, the story of the vampire, it was a demonization of Eastern Europeans. So there were newly immigrated Eastern European people in the United States at the time. And, sir, are you going to come up here? And language was so different from, other emigrating groups, and customs and dress and attire. And, there is a darkness to Eastern European history and culture. And I'm just speaking from the perspective of my own personal family experience. That side of my family, there's mystery. There's a lot of mystery and secrecy and unspoken rules, right? Um, Historically, kind of thing. And vampire lore is Eastern European in origin. And so this monster, right? That's why it was popular to have the idea of this story of this monster, right? Lurking. It was a group that was easily targeted for such for such things, right? My grandma Rose, the other thing was communism that was associated with that with Eastern European culture in particular at the time of that her family emigrated, and it was her parents that emigrated to this country, and early 1900s, you know. Anyway, my grandma Rose said that, in school, when she was in school, that she was personally bullied. Kids called her a communist, and that it was extremely hurtful because it was communists that had oppressed her parents' families and was why what tore them apart, and so many people had died at the hands of communists and communism. And oh, it was why um, there were so many secrets. Her parents wanted her and her siblings, to be American and not really identify so much with the old country culture. You know, that's why things were kept. Not so many things were not talked about. Even then between my my father and his siblings, and then with my generation. Um, so yeah, I mean that exists there, and so it was an easy label, and I mean, it was also kind of like a fun thing to own, kind of thing, where growing up, my dad would dress up like Dracula on Halloween and scare kids. He did. He used to scare kids. He used to dress up like Dracula and scare kids. You know, um, but there was a dark side to that as well, because I remember being in elementary school and kids saying, making comment about my dad being 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 Dracula, you know, me being the daughter of Dracula, daughter of evil, whatever. Um, and we are a little spooky, but that's why I really loved the monsters. I loved the monsters. Yeah. Anyway, anyway. Mm. So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have some toast for breakfast. I don't even know. I don't know what I'm gonna eat. I don't know. I don't know. Just going to work. I gotta clean the bathroom because I always do that before events to make sure I have a clean bathroom in case anybody comes and actually comes and needs to use my bathroom then while they're there, and make sure I got some good fresh snacks and all that stuff. You know, vacuum and dust and tidy up. Yep, that's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. Anyway. Anyway.